Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Life After Kids with Doctors Brooke and Lynne. I'm Dr. Brooke.
And I'm Dr. Lynne.
And this is Mabel. And we're so glad you're here.
We are. We're talking about one of our favorite topics, which is fall. All things autumn, and the changing of the seasons.
Yes. We're in October. Happy October, by the way. And I don't know. I love this time of year.
Yeah, I think it's really special to live in the northern part of the country. I think it's one of those times when we get to shine. No slouch to people who live in Florida and Arizona, obviously, but fall is just with the changing of the leaves, and there's just something magical, right?
It's just
football.
It's all the things.
All the things.
And I was just saying to somebody the other day, like, fall is the reason you live in New England. Like, it's just such a beautiful time of year. And you know, there's that saying, like, the trees are about ready to show us, like, the perfect example of letting go, or the beauty in letting go. Like, there's that piece of it too. And also for me, it's just, I think that like, you know that I practice gratitudes all the time, and I think you do too.
I do.
But this time of year, I just feel like my heart's gonna burst with gratitude, because it's like every time I get in my car and drive, I'm seeing God's artwork all around me. It's just is so beautiful, right?
I was just going to say that. I mean, if you with your faith and being a Christian, it's looking around. It's really hard to not see the splendor of His creation. Right?
Yeah. Right. I agree. And do you feel like in this season of life, like the older we get, the more you enjoy the changes of the seasons and the things that are coming in the holidays and stuff like that? Or what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's bittersweet because it seems to speed up. It feels like it goes by so fast. I think the older you get, the more, you know, we've talked about that, how time just feels proportionally to be moving faster. But absolutely, I love the transitions, and without getting too deep, I think there's something with fall in having to do with midlife and where we're at with our kids, getting independent and just sort of being in a really, a different phase, but it's got so much to offer. Yeah,
I agree. And tell me about, like, what is one or two of your favorite activities in the fall?
So I think one of my favorite things and I think it'll continue even after Lila's out of school, is just feel like I'm nesting. Like, again, when September rolls around, it's like more cooking, more baking. I love to
cozy comfort
food soups.
Yeah,
we talked about that. Just trying new recipes for soups.
And by the way, soups are sorry to interject, but soups are so nourishing for your health and for your body. The bone broth, if you use bone broth, the cooked vegetables, the minerals.
It's a great way to throw greens in there. I know a lot of people don't love to sit down and eat like a bowl but I don't love to eat salad. I really don't. I mean, I do, but I would choose to have my greens hidden if I could. And I love to hide them in soups. It's a great place to put them.
I know, and we're taking like a total turn of events here, but this is what we do when we talk on the fly. I want to dig into this soup thing a little more, because you are a perfect example. You just made some for me earlier, and you're like, I had some vegetables that were getting ready to go bad, and I literally, like, you can take anything that's in your fridge, throw it in. You're going to get all the benefits of all that inside of the broth. Yeah. It's so easy to make. It's so warm and cozy. And also, it's super, super good and easy on your digestive system. And in this time of year, heading into the winter months, that's a nice thing to kind of, calm the system down for maybe all the fun you had all summer long.
Yeah, definitely be eating more vegetables and have it taste good and feel like you're excited about it. There's, something special about eating vegetables in a way that you really look forward to eating.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we'll often roast a big tray of vegetables and then have a bunch left over. You can throw them in a Vitamix or a blender, add some chicken broth, and blend it up, and then heat that up as a soup.
Yeah.
And I grew up thinking soups had to be an all-day situation, and they really don't. You can throw them together very quickly. I made that soup today in 30 minutes.
Simple, quick, and delicious. And back to the vegetables too. Fall is a great time. Like, it's very good environmentally and for your health to eat kind of seasonally. In other words, eating foods that are in season. And so one of the things I love about fall is all the starchy vegetables, the root vegetables, right? That are so like acorn squash. I make a great acorn squash soup. I should put that recipe out because it's so easy and it's so good. And
butternut squash.
Butternut squash. I love parsnip fries. I bake them in avocado oil with rosemary, fresh rosemary. They're so good. Like there's just so many. Delicata squash. Have you had that?
You know,
if you haven't had delicata squash, it's like a little. I love it. It's like a little dessert. It's sweet. They're so.
Do you put maple
good.
syrup on it?
Not. I didn't even. You don't even need it. I do it. I roast them with some butter, and if you sprinkle cinnamon. Now I'm not a big sweet tooth, so maybe a little bit of maple syrup would be better. But I'm telling you, this particular squash I think is sweet enough that with some cinnamon and butter.
I have to try it.
Yeah, you've got to try it. I'm surprised you never had it because you're a food aficionado.
Well, and I do like to try different vegetables because I get tired of, the same ones.
Right.
So that's great. I love it.
And trying different vegetables is like the best thing for your gut
So
health.
good.
Yeah. So what else? Activities? Any other activities?
The pumpkin patch is super fun. Here in Omaha, we have this really cool, it's like an amusement park and going and getting the pumpkins. I always like I think you guys pick apples, right?
Yes, and God love my kids because I have Anthony now he's 19 now, 17, Andrew's turning 17, and AJ is 13, and they are still like, you guys will see over the next couple months, big on traditions. You know this about me.
I love that
and
about you.
I
could use a little more of that.
In New England, well, you do a great job too. You think outside the box. But in New England, apple picking is super big in the fall, right? You go to an apple orchard, you pick your own, you do this whole thing. And my husband and I have been taking them since they were little, and we were in New England. And boy, she's snorty.
She's going for
it. And we still went last year. But they love to go. Like they were all like, let's get in the car, let's go. We do our apple picking. We get like fresh apple cider, and they get apple cider donuts. And then that's when we pick our jack-o'-lanterns because we still sit down as a family and carve jack-o'-lanterns, right? Like 2 days before Halloween. And we watch Halloween cartoons together. Like I still do the whole thing, and I love it. And I hope and I think they'll look back and be like, remember
and
those
do
as
that
good
with
times.
Their kids.
Yeah.
To follow those traditions.
Yeah.
To bring them forward.
Yeah. So I think that's probably my favorite fall event. That's what I look forward to the most is that day with them.
Yeah, I just love the weather changing and just thinking about all the cozy and just being warm inside and pumpkin.
Pumpkin and
Everything
pumpkin anything. I love all the things pumpkin. Do you, I can't believe I've never talked to you about this. Do you like a pumpkin in your coffee?
No.
Yeah, see, I think people are going to be mad at us for this. But
I know. I think I don't know. I like a little pumpkin spice in things, don't get me wrong, but yeah, it can stay out of my coffee.
Not in a drink. I'm not a coffee drinker anyway, but even when I'm not really here for the pumpkin spice. Not in my drink.
No, and I don't like it starting too early. I think you spoke about this a little bit in posts.
But, yes.
Keep your pumpkin out of August.
Yes, right. But now we're in October, so we can celebrate it. We can have all the things pumpkins. Now, here's another question. How do you feel about the white pumpkins?
Oh, I love white.
You love the white pumpkins. So you don't think
Everything
it's like,
beige,
they're orange.
White beige.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Remember when
I like green pumpkins. You can they're called fantasy pumpkins.
Oh.
And they're shaped funny, so I get the green and the white ones.
I put those out on our front
ones.
step. Yeah, those are great too. You do like beige. I'm thinking about the Iceland trip. And you guys, this is off on a tangent too, but we went to Iceland. You probably know that if you follow us on social media, but I was struggling to pack, and I always struggle to pack when we're traveling. And I was like, I have no idea what to pack for this trip. I think you were at my house because we were filming some episodes then. It was in early June, and you were like, well, I have a theme for this trip. And I was like, you have a theme? Yeah, I call it beige. Beige is not a theme.
I have a theme for every trip. It's called beige. So
I think beige is a theme
very neutral and
yes. And okay, so you would like the white pumpkins. I don't know why I even asked you that.
Do you have a thing against white pumpkins?
No, I mean part of me is like I'm a little bit of a traditional I like an orange pumpkin, but I have to say the last couple years I've been buying them and putting them on my front stoop, and they do look beautiful.
Yeah.
They're super pretty. So anyway,
yeah.
Let's shift. Unless you have a really specific recipe or something that you love that you want to share, I want to shift gears onto something.
I love the for those of you who have a True Foods kitchen in your in your city, you're very lucky, but they make a butternut squash.
Yeah, squash pie.
Squash pie. And I think it's still on their menu, 'cause every time I visit one,
It is.
I order it, and I have that recipe. It's super clean, but it's so delicious. I've made it for you before.
Yeah, we came,
Yeah.
my family and I came one year for Thanksgiving a couple years back. And oh my gosh, it's delicious. You should post that recipe. It's
Yeah.
so good. And a nice little spin on a little something different, but still so delicious.
So good.
Yeah.
So satisfying.
The other thing that I wanted to just mention before we get off of all things fall, because it's October 2nd. So we just hit like the last quarter of the year, the last 90 days. And this whole discussion around like not waiting, you guys, until the new year. Like very often we just start to let things go and let ourselves go, starting now and into the holidays, and think I'm just going to eat what I want and do the things and relax and let myself go, and I'll worry about pulling things together in the new year. Don't get that perspective, right? Look at this as like, but now is the time to button up. So you're like starting off the new year on a big step ahead.
Yeah, I think so many of us just kind of slide into summer and relax and loosen a bit. And I think we do need to do that, don't get me wrong, but I love the fall for a planning, organizing, getting a vision, resetting your goals, and thinking about the next year. So if you can get a jump on that in October, then when January rolls around, I feel like you'll be in a better footing for accomplishing the things and designing the life that you want to do. If you wait till January, it's just a little too late.
Right. So start thinking about the goals that you want to set up for yourself. Now is the time to start brainstorming those, maybe jotting them down. Or I have a note section that I keep in my phone, and I start jotting things down that come to mind. And also, P.S., if you really up your game on just eating well and self-care and taking care of yourself now, which I've been doing the last couple years, you will enjoy the holiday season when it comes so much more. Because you'll feel good. You'll feel better. You'll have more energy. It's a game changer.
I agree. I don't think it needs to be a whole month of letting go.
No.
Right? So I don't think that we feel good about that when we do, like you said, even just physically, but also emotionally.
Yeah.
I think when we slide into that and just allow, it can feel good in the moment, but afterward you get that regret and
I agree.
A bit of that, just hangover,
Yeah.
food hangover.
Yeah.
So, but it should be a special couple of days, and you should enjoy that and go for it. And when you do have those treats, 100%
enjoy the heck out of them, but it just doesn't have to
it.
be 3 full months of all the things. So,
Yeah.
guys, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited about fall. Happy fall to all of you and all the things that are coming soon. We look forward to seeing you again next week, and make sure you're following us on all the platforms, our website, www.lifeafterkids.com. We have, we're on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. Until next week.
Awesome. Bye, guys.
Bye.